Kristen Bry, good morning, my friend. How are you? How you feeling? How's the baby?
Baby is good. Hopefully, baby is not sick because woke up not feeling 100%.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know what the rules become as far as if mom is sick and breastfeeding of like, do you just like not breathe on the baby and just keep like a shield between you and your boobs? But yeah, I woke up with her at like 4 a.m. today and I was like, oh, my throat doesn't feel good and did not go back to sleep. So she
Oofa.
did. So
Oh,
she's working off more sleep than
Oofa.
me. But yeah, so I don't know if it's just dry in the house, if I have something coming, but she has her 2-month appointment tomorrow. So hopefully we'll nip anything in the bud if she starts to have symptoms of any sorts.
well, you've been sending me some pictures, and it's amazing how quickly she's changing. I
Mhm.
mean, she's much more, at least from the pictures that you've sent me, she's much more alert now. Her eyes are open a whole lot longer, and
Mhm.
it looks like is she actually focusing on you yet? On you yet?
She's focusing, she's, like, hinting, she's, like, teasing us with a smile, as or at least a smile that, like, is actually in reaction to something that you're doing.
Yeah.
She's starting-ish to make noises that are not just crying,
Right.
so I feel like our Christmas gift this year will be her, like, giggling and actually being, like, a little reaction factory of, that everyone's trying to perform for. But yeah, it's wild to see her we at Thanksgiving, so it was 37 of us all on my dad's side.
37?
So it's my grandma who now has 7 or 8 great-grandchildren, but, so my grandma, there's 5 kids, their spouses, so on my aunts and uncles, and then all of my cousins, and then of my cousins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us now have kids. 3 out of the 5 was no, 6 of us have kids. And so my cousins Brian and Zach, who are brothers, they both had kids this year. So one was born in July, one was born 2 weeks after Frankie.
Oh, wow.
And so we had 3 babies at Thanksgiving. And it was funny looking at the one who's 2 weeks younger than Frankie. I was like, "God, he's so tiny." And then I was like, that's how people are looking at me with holding her. I just think she's bigger because I know how little she was."
Yeah.
She's a cutie.
She's
And
adorable.
she looks like she's growing into her legs as well.
Well, let's hope so, because if she gets shots tomorrow, she needs some meat on those bones because they were little chicken legs at first, and, let's hope there's some padding there so she doesn't really, really scream her face off, but I am preparing for that.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. You are. All right, we're gonna do the good, the bad, and do babies need this really? But we're gonna start.
The
We're
way
gonna.
you
Alright,
say it, you're like, "Arr."
It's amazing to me. Anyway, we're gonna start with the good. Liz Cheney is out with a book.
okay.
It's called Oath and Honor, and it's being released on December 5th. But CNN got a hold of an early copy and released a bunch of clips yesterday, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheney reveals for the first time that Kevin McCarthy told her just 2 days after Election Day he had talked to Trump, and Trump acknowledged he had lost the 2020 election.
Alright.
Shocking. I mean,
I mean,
McCarthy,
is that news at this point? Isn't that also what during all the testimonies and stuff, other people had said that he had admitted that he lost?
I guess, but that
Yeah.
it's not getting through
It's
to
not getting through. How
to
many
this
how many book
everyone.
how many book reveals or, like, book releases has there been that there's new
yeah.
information that, this one, we got him this time,
Yeah.
and not so
Right,
much.
well, that's true. Cheney exposes how other Republicans supported Trump's election lies, even though they knew better. During a conference call, Cheney says House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan was dismissive of the legal process for challenging the results and didn't seem to think that the rules mattered. The only thing that matters, Jim Jordan said, is winning.
Also not surprising. Like that's not I want to I want something to be like, Jim Jordan actually voted for Biden. I didn't know that. That's weird. Like
None of this is a
Crazy.
surprise.
none of I mean, like it was like Kristen said, there are so many people now, Cassidy Hutchinson to be like, all these individuals who have come out and saying, yeah, Trump said all this stuff behind closed doors, and you know, getting the text messages from the Fox pundits and Kevin McCarthy being really angry at Trump, but then a few days. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a bestseller. I'm sure she's going to be on all the talk shows. But I'm hoping there's like some kind of bombshell item in there that no one else knows.
And then
I mean,
and
it's
that will
nothing
cut
like the
through.
Britney book. Poor Justin Timberlake really had a bad week when that book
Oh,
came out.
from what I under, the rumor was that Justin Timberlake was about to like launch a comeback because he had really been around. And when the book came out, they're like, shut it down.
Not
Not
now.
going to do that now.
Now
Not now.
let's wait Christmas 24. Christmas 24.
Might not be the best time. We're doing the good, the bad, and do babies need this really? We're doing the good now. Liz Cheney is out with a book. CNN leaked some of the details in it yesterday. Cheney talks about how Mike Johnson, new Speaker of the House, pressured Republican members to support an amicus brief to throw out election results from 4 states where Trump had lost. She says, when I confronted him with the flaws in his legal arguments, Mike Johnson would often concede or say something to the effect of, we just need to do this one last thing for Trump.
This is a heist movie? Like,
but don't you remember? I mean, there was another elected official who basically said, he's going to leave. Let's just let him, take another month to accept the results. And, let's just placate him for
let's
a
give
little
him
bit.
let's give him one more term. Because
Yeah.
then he'll be gone forever.
Liz Cheney also shares that most Republican members knew it was a farce to sign on to Electoral College objections. Among them, Republican Representative Mark Green, as he signed his name to the piece of paper, Green said out loud to no one in particular, quote, the things we do for the orange Jesus.
See, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear I don't want to hear people's like I want to hear all those little quips
The
and
snarky.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's the thing, because didn't Cassidy Hutchinson just have a book come out?
Yeah, she did.
So it's like,
within the
what
past few
is
months.
yeah, like in recently. And there's been so many of these tell-all books that have come out that I don't know. And I still commend Liz Cheney for what she did and everything that she stood for. But it's just as far as like, is it going to be a bestseller? Is there anything in here that's really new?
Well, and I think one of the problems with these books is the people who need to read them are not going to read them.
Of course.
Well, yeah.
These books are being purchased by people who are like us and who want to see, what was going on the inside. And for true supporters, right? I mean, Liz Cheney's a traitor, Adam Kinzinger is a traitor. They're all traitors. Everybody is a traitor,
Mhm.
even the people who were in the Trump administration are all traitors. A couple more juicy things from the book. Kevin McCarthy was concerned he had lost his ability to fundraise because right after the January 6th attack at the Capitol, he said, this is President Trump's fault.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks later, he flew down to Mar-a-Lago. He said Trump's staff summoned him, and he told Liz Cheney, yeah, the staff is really worried about Trump. He's not eating. So they asked me to come see him.
I don't think that's true.
Why would they think Kevin McCarthy's the one who's going to like console him?
I don't know. Is he the one?
He's the Trump whisperer.
Is he not married? Like, what is Melania doing?
Maybe he's got a nice hand feeding delivery system that no one else has. I don't understand.
Kevin McCarthy knows Trump's omelet station menu order to the T.
Got it.
That's what
And the one last thing I wanted to share from Liz Cheney's new book, when she was invited to join the January 6th commission, and after she was ousted as GOP conference chair, she accepted the invitation from Nancy Pelosi to join the commission. And she said when she went to the first meeting, she couldn't help but shake the feeling like she was a visitor from another planet. And she later found out that Nancy Pelosi's staff had compiled a list of the 10 worst things that Liz Cheney had ever said about Nancy Pelosi. And Pelosi took one look at the list, handed it back to her staffer, and said, why are you wasting my time with things that don't matter?
Yeah.
That's a grown-up.
Yeah.
That's a grown-up.
Absolutely.
Right? I don't care.
What was on the list?
They don't say. But I'm sure we could find, if you just Google mean things Liz Cheney said about Nancy Pelosi, I'm sure
Nancy
there'd be a lot of
Pelosi's
stuff
always
coming
dressing like a spring. She's such a fall.
All right, we're moving on to the bad. Oh, yeah. Republican bills that got a public hearing yesterday. would require school and library staffers to tell parents what materials their kids younger than 16 are checking out, not just at school, but from public libraries.
Yeah.
Come on. And on the one hand, it's like, I don't want the government telling me what to do.
Don't tell me how to parent.
Don't tell me how to parent. I know what's best for my kids. I know the best curriculum for my kids. At the same time, no, I want the government to come in and mandate that public libraries inform me of materials that my kid is checking out. When you, as the parent, shouldn't you already be on top of that?
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Right?
If they're
they s-
keeping secrets from you, maybe you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You make an excellent point.
Last time I checked, when you tell kids not to do something, kind of will push them to do it anyways. And they also said in these hearings, there are mechanisms already in place where
Yes.
parents can walk in and get the history of their children's
Yes.
library ventures. And this is just needless and pointless. And it's going to really hurt small libraries. I mean, it's going to hurt everybody because they're not going to have time. But like small libraries and like Hayward, they don't have the kind of budget that the Milwaukee Public Library System has.
Without a doubt.
So what are we doing right now?
Who proposed this?
Barbara, she's one of the
From
co-sponsors.
Oconomowoc,
Yeah.
who
Dietrich?
actually said,
Yes.
Yes.
Barbara Dietrich. She's one of the co-sponsors.
and but she said that this is, this is less restrictive than other people wanted.
Yeah, and they also had to talk about the fact that they would have to put money into the budget because they don't want an unfunded mandate, because there's nothing that Republicans hate worse than an unfunded mandate. But yeah, they'd have to put money into the budget for this to work because they need the technology, the time, and the resources.
Well, and they're going to need more staffers.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think they're going to need considerably more staffers. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
It befuddles you?
I am befuddled. I am genuinely befuddled by this. And again, the juxtaposition of parental rights, rawr, and government knows best, at least in this instance.
Yeah.
Well, I think it kind of goes hand in hand as far as it's more of Big Brother-ish, because it's the unknown of what's happening at school that is infringing upon parental rights, right? I think that's what the logic is like, you guys are keeping something from me about me having full control over my kid and what they're reading and how they're presenting and how they want to be referred to as. And so if they're this different person at school, you're affecting my ability to parent because they're living this second life. So it's your responsibility to inform me rather than me have a better relationship with my kid.
I think that's kind of backwards.
It's not how I'm going to parent.
Right? Well, I can't. You're gonna tell her everything.
Maybe not everything.
Right?
We'll wait till something's got to wait until she's like over 18.
That's fine.
Mom, I don't want to know. I just don't know.
Stop sharing with me, mother. Stop sharing with me. Kristen Bry is here. Jump on the StreamYard at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and join us when we come back. It's the good, the bad, and do babies need this?
Can't wait for that.
Really? That's on the way. Stay with us. You're listening to As Goes Wisconsin across the Civic Media Radio Network. Welcome to As Goes Wisconsin. Jane Matnair in for Kristen Bry. She is here. Kristen is with us every Wednesday from 10:30 to 11 o'clock until she comes back from maternity leave. Greg Bach is with me as well, and Calvin is on the board. You can always call or text in at 844-967-2789, 844-96.
Party.
And we're doing the good, the bad, and do babies need this? Really? Oh, you're a new mom, Kristen. I don't know. Maybe you know some people who have bougie babies. Because this seems like
Of course they do.
This seems like a real bougie baby thing to me. Dior, formerly known as Christian Dior, is out with a luxury perfume aimed at infants. And it's $230.
This is a bit from Parks and Rec.
It's not fake. This is real.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to put like any kind of fragrance on your baby. Like anything that is targeted as having fragrance in it, whether it's lotions or body wash and stuff like that. Like I'm pretty sure a baby dermatologist is like, no, don't do that.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and isn't the whole point of babies is that they smell good naturally?
Yeah.
That was what I
You
thought.
smell their heads, and their heads smell amazing.
If you could bottle baby smell.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. Sell that for $230.
This is, I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm looking at it right now. Tom Haverford on an episode of Parks and Rec. I'm working on a cologne for babies. It's called Baby, You Smell Good.
Oh my god,
It's
that's
called
hilarious.
It's called Baby Dior Bon Etoile Scented Water with soft notes of pear, wild rose, and white musk. It's also considerably more expensive than any of Dior's adult perfumes.
Well, I know I'm getting the kid for Christmas, I guess. Sure.
No, don't buy her baby perfume. It was created by Dior Perfume's creative director, Francis Kurdigian, and the artistic director, Cordelia de Castellani.
This is just going to start like, you're going to have like the fancy bougie one, and then there's going to be some like lumberjack dude coming out with, do you want your baby to smell like the woods? It's just going to start a whole new trend. Like your kid's going to smell like Jack Daniels and Kentucky Redwood. Yeah, baby.
It is alcohol free, but it's still scented. And I agree with you, Kristen. I would think you would be concerned about their skin. They have such sensitive,
Yeah, they have such
brand new
sensitive skin. I'm like very positive you should not be spraying your baby with perfume.
Definitely.
Like, unless you're just not changing their diaper and you're like trying to cover up that smell, but that's a whole other set of issues.
Then you just Febreze them. That's problem
Duh.
solved.
Yeah, obviously.
$230. It can be yours, according to their website. It's more than a scented water. It's an object imbued with reverie that can be personalized with the colored ribbon of your choice to accompany your child like their lucky star. Just kill me now.
God.
Okay, you
Come
win.
on.
You win, Jane. This isn't an old bitter grandma take right here. This is okay.
But I want to know who's actually going to buy it, because obviously they've done some kind of market research to put this on, like to put this out, that they think someone's going to buy it, and like I would, is it just rich people? But I don't also feel like rich people are like even more hyper vigilant about all baby stuff, and maybe that's like a grand overgeneralization, but it's like I don't know. I just am surprised that there would be a market for this.
I think it's going to be this is going to be sound real Midwestern-y of me. It's going to be a coastal thing, and they're going to, I mean, if it's alcohol free and to slap some sort of organic thing on there, parents are going to put they're going to put this look over their baby. They're going to be like, yeah, we want the Dior. The baby Dior.
Exactly. I think
I just don't
too.
see that. I really do. I feel like so many wealthy people with their babies, like they're so obsessed with like development and getting into the best schools and being like super insane about if they're sick or not and stuff like that, and having the best pediatrician approved thing that I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm sorry, but the Kardashians are going to jump all over this.
Kardashians.
This is so up their alley. So up their alley.
Lynn Bauer sent a message on the live stream that said, wow, that's hard to say. Breastfed babies smell sweet. Formula fed baby smell like cows. All right, Lynn. My gosh.
If the baby perfume is not enough for you, Mama Kristen, this range also features skincare items. Moisturizer for babies is $115, and cleansing foam is $95.
Hey, Frankie Lou, she's got a handshake like a leather man. Wow. Like it's a moisturizer in her life. Does Dior have any brand new baby dog
perfumes? Oh, for little Mabel?
Yeah, but see, that makes more sense to me.
A perfume for your dog?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that like it, and you can take the ribbon off and put the ribbon around or put it up here and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to shell out $230 for doggy Mabel, you certainly can. Get yours now. Baby Dior Bon Etoile scented water for $230.
Jane, I can show you my Amazon order history. We're way over that price tag at this point.
Seriously.
Well, we had bought
for dog things.
For dog things, yeah. We bought everything on the list.
He's a little upset, Kristen, because he hasn't been able to take paternity leave.
Ba-dum-ba.
And I'm really upset that I didn't come up with that joke. Like, I'm still, it really puts a, I can't think of it anymore. I'm sorry.
It
I'm very
hurts him.
tired.
It
I'm very
hurts him.
tired.
It was so good to see you, my friend. Let us know how things are going.
Yes.
Shoot me some more pictures of the perfect child, Frankie Lou, and we will see you next Wednesday.
See you next week.
Stay with us. When we come back, we are talking about apprenticeship programs in Wisconsin. You are listening to As Goes Wisconsin, and we're on the Civic Media Radio Network.